All right. Today, holy Hannah, today is going to be an epic day for those who have not. I'm the worst at intros, so I'm just going to be my authentic little adorable self. So, for anybody coming to our podcast, we are Boston and Bubbles. Mark is Boston, I am Bubbles, and this is our very good friend Nicole Toudouze of Transcendental Marketing Agency. And today we just want to talk shop, talk shit, talk all the stuff, and drink.
Uh, Bubbles, that was a great intro. I do have a few bones to pick with you, and yes, I am going to do it here live on our podcast. Uh, first, I would like to start with, hey, let's catch up here for a minute. Can we catch up? Because it's been
Seriously.
like way too long for all of us. Okay.
Yeah.
I think our last podcast, I think we're a little bit behind. Our goal was once a month. I think we're a little bit behind on that. I'm not going to
I
say
mean,
behind.
stuff
But
happens, you know?
I think a lot of stuff, and that's what I want to get to. A lot of
Are
stuff.
you struggling over there with that cork? It's a scene.
You need to.
Oh my gosh. It's like
Please don't get a black eye from a bottle of champagne on this
this.
recording.
And do not
Like,
get that brand new jacket, which I cannot wait to see it in totality.
Trevor, can you come help me? I need help from my boyfriend. I do not know
Trev.
why this.
Trev, we need you.
You're going to make an appearance, or your arm is, by the way. No, don't do it that way. Are you crazy?
I don't know how to do it.
You don't know how to open it? There you go. He was going to try to, he was going to just like pop it off.
Trevor, hi.
Yeah. You want to wave? Say hi.
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 Hi, Trev.
Thank you. Man.
So I wanted to catch up here.
Let's do it.
A lot of stuff has happened since we last had a podcast, right? We've had hurricanes. We've had former presidents being shot at and shot, right? We've had
Really? That happened in between? Wow, that seemed like it was just yesterday.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But I know, Sarah, you were involved a bit, right, in the hurricanes.
With the shooting? Oh.
Right.
Um,
Well, apparently the word's out now. I was involved. No.
I know nothing about you, apparently.
Nope.
Welcome to our show, Nicole.
Those are the things that we disclose on this show. Yes, we had two hurricanes, and if anybody knows anyone from Tampa, especially, if we're just like a different breed. We don't care because all of the storms, they all say they're coming right towards us, and then at the very end they don't. Except this time, then it just kind of did. But we're incredibly lucky. We had very little damage. We only lost our power for 48 hours. We still had running water. I mean, I know a lot of people that have lost everything, and people in North Carolina. It's one thing they didn't even anticipate it or expect it. So for us, we did okay. But I'm also that person. I don't know if you guys, the term fight or flight. So when people are like, you should stay inside during a hurricane, not me. I'm a dumb Floridian. I'm like, let's go outside. What's going on? Are there branches blowing around? What's happening? Like, that's what I did.
So what was the damage? What kind of damage did you have? Minimal? You lucked out.
I have a greenhouse. I had a greenhouse
the
in
greenhouse.
Milton, but I was going to get rid of it anyway. So Milton kind of did me a favor.
Nature helped out. Nature took care of it.
Yes.
See how that comes around? Amazing.
It knew.
It knew. So we have Nicole here today. This is our third guest.
Yes.
Yes. And so Nicole is from Transcendental Agency. Transcendental Agency? What is that? What is Transcendental Agency all about? I cannot wait to hear about this. I can't wait to hear about your story, Nicole. But before we get to that, let's go back a minute and reflect upon when I actually first met you.
Yeah.
When was that again?
Was that 2 years ago?
Yeah,
Year and a half?
uh,
Was it?
must have been about a year and a
My,
half.
Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Yummy, yummy.
That
I,
was how funny was that? That Nicole and I were just like, you know what? Let's have a girls trip. Which, and I'm not going to steal Nicole's thunder, but for those who don't know, Nicole is one of my best and dearest friends, and which allows you to, as a human, to give them shit when they work too hard, and because you care a lot about them. And so Nicole is that
Or when they
person.
don't evacuate for a hurricane.
I mean, yeah, yeah, like that. So I was shocked when I asked her, "Do you want to go to Miami?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then we posted it on LinkedIn because I posted, I'm like, "My seat's empty, but my bestie's coming." And then Mark is like, "I'm here in Miami." Like, how funny was that? That was fun.
Historical, and here
Small world.
it's so funny how all that happens. What a great time in Miami that we had. That was a great evening, right? I had my buddies there that I met with from dental school. You two were there. We were at that Broken Shaker, was it called? I believe the bar is nice outside. They had some nice drinks. Yeah, but what a great evening! And yeah, first time we met Nicole, and so yeah, I want to hear all about Transdental as a dentist. I want to hear about it. I want to hear about how you could help my practice and how you could help other dental practices to get our names out there. So let's hear it.
Sure. Yeah. So this is a dream come true for me to be here with two close friends of mine I admire. Yeah, Nicole Toudouze, CEO and founder of Transcendental. It's a full service strategic marketing agency that specializes in building and growing dental practices. We do every kind of dental practice you can imagine. So de novo scratch startup, acquisition, existing, and then groups and DSOs as well.
So okay, so here I am. I have my dental practice. For location practice, South Coast Endodontics. We want to get our name out there more. I reach out to you, Nicole. What's next steps? What happens?
Yeah, so we do a full in-depth analysis before we ever onboard a client, including market demographics, competitor analysis, SWOT analysis. We look at their current and existing marketing program to determine what's working, what's not working, and then we come up with a roadmap and a strategy based on the business objectives they share with us, and every marketing program really should vary from practice to practice based on the model of the practice, based on what the objectives of that practice are. Some clinics are looking for volume and emergencies. Some are looking for full mouth rehab. Some are highly aesthetic and cosmetic.
Hmm.
Some are, very insurance participating, and some are fee for service. And depending on the type of practice we're serving, we do, really take a step back to try to understand what it is they're trying to achieve, and then make sure the tailored program that we create and implement for them gets them to that end goal.
And so, do you measure, the outcomes? Do you measure getting new patients, getting more volume, achieving goals? What does that look like?
Absolutely. We're fully transparent, and it's not just for the sake of being transparent. We track and report on everything we do, down to new patient numbers by channel and campaign. But in addition to that, we are really proactive with the data. So we don't wait for the practice to raise their hand and ask questions. We don't wait for the practice to notice their schedule is slow or that the report isn't looking great. We sit around as a team every month and really delve into the program and the benchmarks and the data that we're seeing to determine where we need to pivot month over month. And because of that, we're able to optimize our ROI for every practice each month, because we don't just, spit the data out through an automated system and then say, have a nice day. We actually take it and make it actionable, which very few agencies in this space do.
And typically, how long does your partnership last for with a practice?
It depends, I think in dentistry, practices tend to jump ship really quick. They don't necessarily give their marketing vendors time to let their programs work. They'll start somewhere for a month and then feel like, oh man, I'm not seeing any patients, because there's like a knowledge gap. They don't understand how the process works, right? They don't understand how the algorithm works, and these things take time and testing and tweaking. And so, in dental marketing, not specific to Transcendental, but you'll see a lot of turnover of clients among agencies for that reason. And so we just try to be really transparent and really proactive in communication with open dialogue and feedback loop with our clients so that they always know what we're doing to impact their bottom line and the impact we're having in their practice. But I'd say on average, a client is with us. I mean, we have some that have been with me since before I founded the company, like when I was a consultant, just freelancing. And, those clients have been with me some 6-7 years.
Oh, wow.
But being that Transcendental is just under 4 years old, I would say our average client has been with us maybe 2 years.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm,
It's been
mm-hmm,
just been 2 years straight that you're working with them.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Wow. And so do these contracts, I mean, this is getting a little bit private, but are these contracts like monthly? Like, is it subscription? How does that work?
We're month to month. We
Nice.
don't do any. Yeah. Yeah, I don't believe in all that mess. We're month to month. I don't want to work with somebody who doesn't want to work with me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I know that.
I'm not looking to ruin your life. I created this entity to support people, to help them. Like, it's a channel for me to help others. My team as well. That's how they see it. And so, we're invested. And so if the client isn't equally invested, there's going to be a disconnect. And I'm not going to lock somebody into a contract because that just keeps me up at night. So,
Well, how do you feel? How do you feel that practices can get the most attention from potential clients, from potential patients out there? What are the things that really turn those patients on, do you feel?
you know, differentiating yourself in this space can be very difficult. As time has progressed, historically in dentistry, patients are viewing the dental space more and more as a commodity, an interchangeable good, where brand or provider is not necessarily the determining factor in where they go,
Hmm.
right? They typically are driven by insurance acceptance, and so being that is the sort of environment ecosystem that the consumer lives in with these dental practices, it can be very challenging to find a footprint that you can make unique, that can speak to patients. So much of it is dependent on storytelling, having a
Sure.
really clear idea of who you are. Sarah talks, this is like everything Sarah talks about with developing a brand that is memorable and unique to you, and that goes for personal as well as corporate branding or small business branding. And so being able to really define who you are, right? Because sometimes I'll ask practices, what makes you different? And everybody says the same thing. I do everything in house, and I can do
Advanced
implants. And
technology and all those
yeah,
same things.
they think about it at such
And
a clinical level, but like now patients don't see the difference in clinical care across practices. I mean, that's the reality. They really don't. So how do you make them see you differently than the practice down the street? And all of that comes down to the experience that you create for them, you
mhm.
know?
And so you just noted keeping things in house, and obviously you're an outside entity, but I think you're also part of the team, correct? Like that's your
Oh yeah.
mission. That's your
Yeah.
vision.
Yeah, our like, so one of our core values is relationships, and our goal is always to build rapport and trust with the client and develop a relationship and a working dynamic in which we feel like an extension of the practice team, not a vendor, you know, because we really want them to know we're invested in achieving their goals. We're not just looking to collect a management fee every month. We're working toward a common goal with them, and we really prefer to be seen more as a partner, to their business than more of a service-based contractor.
I have a question.
Shoot.
When and kind of a story, also a question. So Mark, I don't know if you know this, but I can't exactly remember why Nicole and I found each other on a Zoom call one day, but she just happened to be coming
Oh, it was meant to be,
into,
but keep going. Sorry,
what'd you say?
it was meant to be. Obviously, keep going.
Oh,
Yeah.
It obviously. And so she
written
was
in the
like, yeah,
stars.
so written in the stars. She was like, I'm coming to Tampa to shoot a video for one of our clients. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, hey, we should go to dinner. Now, mind you, and everyone who ever watches this podcast, I'm not out here like, hey, you're coming to town. Let's go to dinner. Let's do this. And I'm like, I'll come and get you and we'll go to dinner. So here I am picking up this young lady who I don't know really well. And I'm like, now I'm thinking for her, I'm like, she's going to get in my car. What if she hates me? What if then she's at my mercy to like get her back to her hotel? I'm like, man, I hope that she likes me and this goes well. And Mark, we were there for like 6 hours. We had cocktails, dinner, we talked, we cried, like we just instant
It was
bond. And
soulmate besties, like soulmate besties.
it
Yeah,
really was. And
love at first sight.
we had a magical evening that night.
Good.
But my question is, Nicole, one of the things, the more and more I got to know Nicole and she would talk to me about her clients, I was like, you're not just a marketing agency. This company that she came out to, or this practice in Tampa, she helped them design everything, including you helped them negotiate their LOI. I mean, I think one thing you should do, especially in this podcast, is talk about your past, because that's
Yeah.
really influential, and I think that really kind of creates a
Mm-hmm.
picture for people to see why it is that you're so good at what you do. So I would like to hear again your origin story, my dear.
Sure. Okay. So I am a proud Texas Aggie, by the way. So I'm
Oh,
gonna start there.
okay.
Gotta throw that in there. All right, gig 'em. Okay. Don't don't worry about the football record. Let it go. All right. So yeah. So I started in big brand advertising about, I guess, 15 years ago now, and worked on brands like 7-Eleven, Bank of America, doing all kinds of marketing, retail POP marketing, in-store marketing, direct response marketing, mass media, you name it, I did it. And, working on these big brands was great, but I didn't really find my passion for marketing until I started working more on the small business side, when I kind of fell into dentistry. And I think that's what helped me really fall in love with dentistry, was the fact that, I could see the impact I was having on these businesses, right? And so how I got into the dental space is essentially I became director of marketing over a dental group, an 11 location group. And go ahead.
No, I said, oh, wow. I
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah. And so that's really where I got my bearings. I knew nothing about dentistry, like starting from scratch, clean slate. I knew nothing except when my checkups were and what my dental insurance was. And that's the reality for most patients. So coming into dentistry, there was a giant learning curve for me. But working in this dental group, I really got to, one, just get a better understanding really early on of where the gap was on growing dental practices, right? Because dentists really were behind the curve. Practice owners were very behind the curve in terms of marketing. So when I came in the space, we were still doing yellow pages. Everything was print, newspaper, events, grassroots, things like that. There was the digital marketing space was not very competitive at the time, right? And that's how crazy the last 10 years have been, and how drastically things have changed. Is that when I came in, it was much more traditional marketing and less digital, right? And things were just starting to kind of ramp up, on the digital front. But I was able to really see that practice owners thought about marketing for their practice from a very tactical, ad hoc perspective. So they would try direct mail and that wouldn't work. And so let's try a Google ad and that doesn't work. And a yellow page, and does Yelp work? And should I start posting on Facebook? And it's like, kind of just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks mentality, when in reality, coming from big brand advertising, I knew for any business to grow, it needs a strategy. There have to be defined objectives, a mission, a vision. You have to have the internal ops ready to go and scalable for growing your practice, and so I was able to really come into this space and kind of see where the gaps and the holes were in terms of how practice owners were thinking about marketing. And from there, I became director of marketing of Breakaway Seminars. At the time, we had an agency within Breakaway. And so I built that, launched that, and then managed, marketing for 1,000 practices across the country,
Wow.
essentially. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's really where I became a subject matter expert. Every type of practice you can think of, and every type of market you can think of, with every type of program you can think of, and that's really where I learned how to utilize the data to drive growth, regardless of what kind of practice it is, where it is, and what we're trying to achieve. But things, again, were very different back then, right? Not nearly as competitive online. So it was much easier to grow practices back then than it is now. The DSO space wasn't what it was, you know? And so basically I was there until 2017, and then I decided to go out on my own and start consulting for practices privately. I did that. I grew a portfolio of about 11 locations that I was supporting in Texas and other states with marketing strategy and consulting on ops. And eventually had to sort of have a come to Jesus with myself and say, okay, am I this work from home mom who's working part-time, you know, helping these local businesses, or am I somebody with a skill set that this industry needs? And ultimately I decided that I really didn't feel like there were many companies doing it well and doing it ethically. And so I decided to found Transcendental in 2021, and we quickly grew. We've served, I would say, close to 1,000 practices in 4 years at this point.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea it was that many.
Yeah, we took off like a rocket ship, and man, things broke.
You sure have.
Shit broke.
So let me ask you. So you do this marketing, advertising for dental practices.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys thought about, or are you doing this for other dental businesses?
We do actually support a few of our partners. Mm-hmm. Few
Sure.
industry partners. Yep.
And
We have. Uh-huh.
and is that a lot different?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, very. You know, I mean, one's B2C, right? Patient acquisition is very different from B2B, as you guys know. But really, at the end of the day, when people say, have you ever marketed for a full arch practice though before, or have you ever done a practice in LA? You know, everybody thinks their business is so different, right?
Mm.
But at the end of the day, I'm a marketer by trade, as is my team. And the very definition of a marketer is closing the gap between the product and the audience. You know, and so we do that. That's our product. That's what we do. You know, and so I can essentially work with, support, and grow any business. It's my job to understand the market, the product, the competitors, regardless of what kind of client I'm supporting.
And so, are you providing oversight for all of these entities that you're working with? How does that work? I know you have a team.
I know
Yeah,
Sarah wants
Nicole.
to
How does that?
jump in.
Yeah. Go right on
This is
ahead.
her.
I want to hear your answer.
It's her hot button for me. Yeah, I'm too involved.
Okay. No, know what? I get it. You're a doer. You're a doer. You care. You want to see everything succeed. I totally get it. I totally get
Well, and so much of I'm a teacher. I love
it.
teaching my team.
Ah,
And so I love being
you're
boots
a
on the
great
ground with my team, because the more I do that, the more I see them grow, and the more I see them learn, and the more I see that having a positive impact on the clients. And so I review every single report and come up with recommendations for every single client every month. And I review most creative websites so I can make sure I tell the team, I'm like, nothing ships out of here or leaves the door that you wouldn't be proud to show your mama. That's what our philosophy is.
So, what's the typical communication like with a practice that you're working with, whether it's you or one of your team members who's leading that? What's that communication like? What, if it was me, if it was my practice, how often am I or my office manager speaking to one of your team members?
Oh, every day with the account managers.
Wow.
Every single day with the account managers. Yeah, we're very high touch, white glove. Yeah. So our account managers are on speed dial with all the clients, which they love. They love their clients. They love those relationships within boundaries, obviously. But the social media manager, speaks to them a couple times a month. The ad strategist a couple times a month. SEO managers, designers, right? If we're working on a brand project or a website, they're in the room getting the feedback direct from the client's mouth. So you get access to the entire team. It's like having your own marketing team. And then I'm still too involved, as Sarah will tell you. So I sit in probably for every client 1 meeting a month. I try to anyway. I can't make them all, but I do try to. And anytime we're coming up with a special strategy or rethinking the program or going over reporting, I'm involved there too. So,
Okay, I have another question for all three of us. We're all three
hmm
business owners. I
hmm
know we all three care a lot about what it
hmm
is that we do and the impact that we have. I know, and we're all involved in doing lots of things. What do you think? Because this is something I've been thinking about a lot lately, and I was going to pose this question to you, Nicole, but I'll ask all of us. What is it going to take for us actually to step back and kind of realize or recognize that we can't be the face or we can't be the everything to everyone all the time? Like, what is it, especially for you, Nicole? Because I feel like you would probably like be like, you'll be in your coffin, like, don't forget that strategy that we talked about last week.
My team
Don't
would laugh
forget.
so hard if they heard that. Um, uh, no, I will tell you, it happens gradually. Like I stopped thinking about it like that over time because it does happen gradually. I'm slowly able to take more and more steps back, and it's maybe one step a year, but it's happening, And I just think it really depends on your product and your clientele because we have a very boutique product that's hard to scale and grow at the mass, right?
Right.
And so, I think it makes sense that it's taking me longer to pull back substantially just because the product is just at a different level, you know? But it is happening slowly. It is like, do you remember before, Sarah, when we met, I never took time off? I never took time off, like for anything. And now it's like the kids got something for school or somebody's sick or I need to go visit a friend. I'm going to take PTO, So I am finding more of that balance too. And
Good.
I'm growing my management team and I'm coaching them and I'm empowering them. And I am not a micromanaging manager. I know the fact that I'm so involved, you would maybe come to the assumption that I am, but I am extremely hands off, more of like mentor style manager. So, I just invest a lot of time in educating them and supporting them however they need. And then that empowers them. And then I can say, okay, I'm going to take myself out of creative reviews now, or I'm going to take myself out of the status meeting now. And so I slowly drop meetings. So my calendar looks less and less like a deadly game of Tetris.
Oh my gosh. I went to my therapist today and I showed her my calendar and she was like,
Uh-huh.
"Ugh,
Yeah.
gross." But what about you, Mark? What about, I mean,
Yeah.
now that you've got your new cabin, you could just essentially say like, "Goodbye everybody. Bye Andrea. Bye everyone. I'm at the cabin." Like what about you?
With this for me, honestly, it's the fear of boredom. I can't be bored. I have to be doing something now. The last number of years, I've been just so invested into my practices, my businesses, but I can easily like pivot and be into something else. But I just have to like be constantly kind of on the go and thinking and focused on something. Because when I'm not and I'm just sitting there, it doesn't vibe with me well. You
That's
know?
why they say, like with entrepreneurs, you build, 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 and then now this is its own running engine, and now I'm going to go build this thing. It's like
Yeah,
you just
yeah,
get to the point where you can scale yourself out so you can start the next thing.
yeah. Just I
Yeah.
hit it, but I'll tell you, I've had years where I've taken more vacation than other years. This year has been a working year for me, which is fine. And I don't mind that, but it's kind of up and down sometimes, and you just find your groove and what works for you. But again, for me, it's really staying busy and
hmm
hence Boston and Bubbles podcast, right? I mean, just something else to fill in any voids or gaps there, something to think about. Obviously, have great interviews like we're having today with Nicole. But yeah, and
Yeah.
how about you, Sarah?
I'll let you know when I figure it out.
Yeah,
I'm much like you both. I care. I find that I care so much, but I and I'm not quite at the obviously at the point of where Nicole's growth is, but or both of your growth, but I don't know. It's been an interesting journey. I feel like I've done a decent job of delegating, but but people expect me, like when you build and like people just expect you. So I don't want to disappoint anybody. I don't want to upset anyone, but sometimes like back to back to back to back meetings, it's a lot. So I don't know. I think I still have time. Actually, I recently, I don't even know if I've told you this, Nicole. There's a young lady on my team who is now kind of moved into a business development role. And you guys, she's fucking crushing it. Like doing an amazing job. She had a meeting, and I don't want to say she actually, like I didn't think she could, but she had a sale that she made from start to finish herself. And I was just like, it was almost like this little light kind of started to shine. I was
Mm-hmm.
like,
That's
this is like
that's
part of my path.
yeah, that's the gradual part I was talking about, right? Like it's not like an everything all at once. It's like you slowly start putting down, like you're carrying these rocks, right? And you just slowly start putting one down and then
It's a
another
good
and
analogy.
another, until the load's just a little bit lighter. And every now and then it's like it ebbs and flows. So every now and then you might pick up more, you know, that you didn't foresee. And so, yeah, it just depends. But it's like the team is so important. Having a team you can trust that respects you and sees your vision is like crucial to that.
It is,
Well, that
right? And it totally is. And it's challenging to find people who can, I wouldn't say it's challenging. It's enlightening. It's magnificent. It's glorious when you can find people who can share that same vision, right?
Hmm. I
Because
call it the give a damn factor.
what's that?
I call it the give a damn factor.
Damn.
No, in my interviews, I will literally be like, do you give a damn?
Yes. It's funny though, because I always like to say, give it a year, because you interview those people and they'll be all hyped up, right? They'll be hyped up for
Yeah.
several months, whatever, and then it's a totally different person, or maybe
They
they're
get jaded
who they
very
normally
quickly.
are and put the
Yep.
show on at the beginning. So
Hmm.
that can be challenging at times,
Hmm.
because you do have to give it time, and you can think it's going to be the best person in the world, and oof, you find out that they're not, and it's just not a good match.
Right.
So,
We've been doing these trial periods now.
yeah,
it's a good idea.
Like dating.
yes,
Like dating. It's like, okay, and it's for them too. It's for
yeah.
them too. So if somebody comes in and they're like, this place ain't for me, it's like, okay, no harm, no foul. Like, you know, yeah.
Sarah, Miss Bubbles, you look extra sparkly today. I do not recognize that jacket. I surely didn't get it for you. Can you show us what you're wearing?
Yes, I can. I can show you the jacket that I bought off Amazon that really is for a 10-year-old, but because I've lost so much weight, I can shop those sizes.
Oh,
Nice.
woo! Oh, you gotta. Ooh, you're a little bit off there. Let's see once more. Once more. Move to your left. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Why do I feel like you need to be wearing roller skates wearing that jacket?
Wow. Oh my gosh. Take it.
Seriously.
Let's go roll,
Seriously, but then
guys.
then have a car ready for me though to take me to the hospital. That's what I'll say after that. I don't know if this is like this is not a boring question, but there's a word that has been popping up more and more for me in the dental industry. And I was talking with one of my clients who's a dental practice
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and warranties. I did not
Oh.
know that warranties are like
Hmm.
that big of a thing. And so I thought it was interesting because I'd asked them like, why don't we talk more about your warranty? We didn't even know you had one. And they're like, isn't that a differentiator? Like, shouldn't people focus on that? So my question is, are warranties like a big deal? Like, do a lot of people do them? Am I just because then I asked other people and they're like, yeah, we offer a warranty on our implants or whatever it is. And I'm like, why aren't people talking more about this? Nicole, why aren't people
It's
talking more about this?
because they don't realize that it's a selling point. It's the same thing with in-house membership plans. I tell my practices all the time because they keep it so close to the chest for existing patients. They wait until they have an established patient who needs treatment to present the membership plan when it is also a tool for new patient acquisition. It helps
Yes.
you lower barriers to entry. And so why aren't we communicating that to your target market? Why are we only talking to your patient community about this, right? And so it's the same thing for warranties. It's like you may present a warranty to an existing patient, but why aren't we using that as a tool to get more patients in the door? You know?
Yeah, I
And
thought that
most
was
don't even
interesting.
have the warranties on their website. Like they don't even, they have
Hmm.
no content on it. They don't have a page for it. Same with the membership plan,
A
you know?
great point, Sarah and Nicole, to elaborate on that because I've never thought of that. And we have warranties with our patients with the care that we treat, but it only comes up if like something fails, something's not working. But that is a great selling point. I'm
It's
going
a
to
marketing
have
message.
it tomorrow.
Think about when we
You're
run Google Ad,
welcome.
yeah,
You
when we
freebie.
run Google
Here's
Ad
the freebie.
campaigns,
Cheers, Nicole. Cheers to freebie.
cheers, cheers. Okay. When we run Google ad campaigns, right, we might have hyper extensions on some of our campaign versions in which we get four like real estates to essentially get some, hooks in there, right? And then drive to the corresponding pages. And so it might be, improve your smile or something like that, going to the cosmetics page, or it might be a link to the membership plan or whatever. But you can even advertise in your Google ads, right? Dental warranty, any work over this dollar amount is, guaranteed. And so when you have that sort of strong message to pique people's interest, it's important to know how and where to utilize it,
Mm.
Do a lot
So
of your
yeah,
clients offer warranties, Nicole?
actually not many. I would say not the majority.
Mm-hmm.
No. Hmm.
So
Now,
interesting.
Nicole, are you at your office right now or are you home?
I'm at my office. I came in just for you today.
Wow.
Today, yeah. So I normally work in the office most days. I was out all week though this week because my baby had surgery. Did I
Oh,
tell you this, Sarah? Yeah. He's okay. He's fine. It was outpatient, but it was like a week-long recovery. He couldn't go to school, and so I've been
wow.
tending home nurse to him all weekend. So I was like looking forward to getting in here a little bit. Um, but yeah,
Well,
so normally I am in the office. Mhm.
wait, football player child?
No, not the youngest. So that's Hudson, the middle one. The youngest is Connor. He's 6, and so
Can
he's the one who had the procedures done.
Mark,
Mhm.
okay, I'm glad that you were able to get out of the house, and I'm glad that you're here. But Mark,
Mhm.
Nicole told me something so fascinating because I mean, I don't. I'm a step. What am I? A bonus mom, but like I never realized how much young kids get into sports. And Nicole's son Hudson, it's not
Mhm.
just like, Mom, I'm into it's flag football, right? It's not just I'm into flag football. This kid, this sorry to say it that way, but Nicole was telling me, and I'm sorry to tell your story, but like he'll be out, and correct me if I got this wrong, but like out at dinner, like he's a leader, and just like to hear
Mm.
the things that this child says, like out at dinner, and like thinking about like plays and stuff, like he's
And he'll
strategic, like
recruit other kids like when at restaurants in a green space and like build a team and get
Wow.
an offense together and a defense together all in under an hour and you hear him calling plays. He's he's got my passion for dental marketing
Mm.
applied to football and it shows. I mean, the kid could be president. He's really an amazing
So,
leader.
yeah,
Yeah.
that is, it's inspiring to hear, I would
Hmm.
say, because you're born like that, right? You're just born
Yeah.
like that.
He
It's,
has
yeah,
that fire. Yeah, for sure.
it's so
Hmm.
important, and I'm sure that's going to carry him on
Hmm.
rest of his life and whatever he
Hmm.
decides to do. So, very cool, very cool.
Yeah.
Um, so, okay, we've talked business here for a while. Nicole, what are you doing to have fun these days? Any hobbies, fun times?
Oh, what are hobbies?
What?
I don't have time. I said, what are hobbies? I don't have time for anything.
Oh,
Um,
you cook.
I,
Nicole is
I
an
love to
excellent
cook.
cook.
I love to cook. I
ooh,
love it. Oh yes, actually,
dish
I
or
love,
just to cook?
I'm gonna toot my own horn. I'm an incredible cook, actually.
Ooh.
I cook everything.
Favorite dish?
I'm a total foodie. I mean, I eat everything. I
Yeah.
don't really have like a favorite.
Okay.
My kids all have, their favorites in my rotations,
Mm.
but yeah.
Like
So,
from scratch, Mark. This isn't like let me like put some,
Really?
stuff in the microwave. Like everything is from scratch. So after a hard day at work, then she goes home, and it's not like she just has like she's a gaggle of kids
I have
that
a
she
lot of children.
feeds.
How many
Yes.
children, Nicole?
What'd you say?
How many children?
Okay, so I have 3 biological, and now I have 5 stepchildren. So
Wow.
yeah. Mhm.
Wow.
Mhm.
Woo!
8
Wow,
total.
a busy girl.
Mhm. Yeah.
Did I don't know if I'm mistaken, and I'm sorry if I am, but didn't you weren't you living on a ranch or grew up on a ranch? Is that accurate or no? Or am I
I
making?
mean, I'm a Texas girl. I spent a lot of time on the ranch, but I didn't grow up on one. I actually grew up in Oklahoma.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm a Texas girl at heart, and anytime I can be out in the country, you'll see
Mm,
me out there.
mm,
So, mhm.
very nice.
Yes. Other hobbies, I'm very much into fitness. I love to run and work out, yoga,
Oh,
Pilates.
so you
Yeah.
take a run. How far of a run do you normally do?
Oh no, so I like it's not for stamina or endurance. I'm not good at it.
I just
I
run to the
enjoy
fridge to get champagne.
Are you a sprinter?
it. I enjoy it, but I'm not good at it. Like my parents were both marathon runners. Like we grew up watching my mom. She was like that 80s. Have you seen the series Physical? Have you seen it? Okay, it's on Apple TV. It's really, really good, but it's about the 80s like aerobics trends, you know? And my mom was like a famous like step aerobics
Yeah,
woman.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that was her career. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's funny. I was a kid, but I would actually do classes and stuff.
Yeah.
Doing that as a kid, which was obviously it was fun and different. But yeah, no, it's very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, but so like I don't know why they both were amazing at cardio and like lung stamina and run long distance running. I run 2 miles and I am done. And I'm being generous to say I run 2 miles. Like it's more of like I run like a few hundred feet and then I walk
Oh,
fast.
I don't believe it.
And then I run a few hundred we'll call it circuit training or something like that.
Wait,
Cool.
before, not that I know we're like at 45 minutes, but before I forget, can we take a picture, like a cheers picture?
Okay. Hold on.
Okay, on the
My
count of
my
three.
curls my curls are falling. Okay.
One, oh, I guess my glass should
Get
be in
the
there.
drink
One,
in there, Nicole. There
two,
you go.
Oh
one,
wait, wait,
two,
wait.
three. Yay. Okay, oh wait, my glass was like, okay, this is perfect. It's good.
All right.
Fine.
We're good.
Okay. So that's pretty much it for hobbies. Spending time with my kids. I play a lot of Uno. I taught my kids how to play Texas Hold'em. I'm really proud of that. All of them. And they're
Hey, you know what?
hustlers. My daughters are hustlers.
There's nothing wrong with that. I grew up in a family. My mom was a compulsive gambler, okay? And my whole family, like we would get together at family reunions, and when everyone like would, other families sit around the table and like do normal things, we would all have scratch offs. Like I was like 8 years old with a scratch off, and I have learned so many card games. Like your kids are gonna grow up, they got character.
Hmm.
Um, what do we got for? So, geez, where are we? We're in November. Oh my gosh, we're in November. Thanksgiving is like right around the corner.
Hmm.
Um,
I love the way you say corner.
thank you,
Corna,
corner.
corna.
I say
Um,
Thanksgiving's
so
right around the corner.
the conferences are winding down, which is going to
Yeah.
be January. And
Yeah.
you guys know I'm a big Yankee dental
Yeah.
multi-site. Will I be seeing you two at Yankee at the end?
That I'm going to that one because you told me it was your favorite, and yes. I've never been. I want to go. I'm going to that one.
Here we go. We're doing.
That's the first one of the year.
Oh
We're
my
gonna hit it hard.
God. Wait, so you haven't done it before?
I've never done it before. I'm going because you both told me how much you liked it.
Awesome. Can't wait. It's going to be great. It's going to be great this year. So this is the third year. Well, Yankee.
Well, of course it'll be great if the 3 of us are there.
Oh yes, yes. For
It'll
the
be quite an upgrade for that event.
multi-site disco focus, this is the third year, and this year it's going to be on the main floor
Okay.
with everything else per the request of past attendees. So yeah, we're definitely looking forward to it. This is going to be a fun time. I'm so happy you guys are both going.
And I just love Boston.
Boston. Let's say Boston.
But
Boston.
I was about to say it really Texan, so I stopped. I was like, Boston.
Wait, didn't they announce, isn't there like a musical? No. What, there was another
Florida,
conference.
I believe Flo Rida will be there.
That's
Friday.
right. Nicole,
Yes.
Oh shit,
also,
Sarah.
yeah, also another fact that I think you will appreciate, Mark, is even though Nicole and I are cute and innocent in appearance, we love us some gangster rap.
Ooh. Well, it's right up my alley. I mean, you know me.
I know. That's why I
You know
said that.
me. So we're going to make more requests for that. Gangster rap.
I can't stop.
Maybe we'll have to have
And
our own party and start blasting some gangster music.
Yeah. You should tell them our other interesting fact. So when we were in Miami, it's the wine, on our first girls trip, we were at the taco joint having the best time. And she says to me, we start eating and she says to me, I have to tell you something weird about myself. Or did I say it to you? Was it the reverse?
I don't even know if we said anything. I think it just happened.
We did. No, we did, because I distinctly remember the conversation. I want to say you said, I need you to tell you about something weird I do after I eat or something like that. And I go, don't tell me you sneeze. And you were like, how did you know? And I was like, because I do that.
So wait a minute. Are you like the same person?
Yeah, basically.
When we
so
get
we both
full.
sneeze. Yeah. When we're full.
But Mark, it's not like little sneezes. It is like, it's like from within, and it's almost like
an attack. Yeah.
It's an attack. And my friends will have, my friends that have known me for years, they'll call me, and if I answer the phone really congested, they're like, are you full? I'm like, yes, I am.
Now, when you guys were in Miami, did you do any dancing? Did you get into any gangster rap?
No, this one goes to sleep so early.
So boring. But I will say this. Mark
I tried to save a girl's life on the street. Remember that?
Oh my God. Yes. That was, oh gosh, that poor girl.
These things find me like moments in time, and I have to like show up all heroic. It happens a lot.
Sober up, show up heroic. But I will say, Mark always asks me to go out at events, Nicole, and I always say no. And he gets his panties in a wad and he gets really mad at me. But I'm telling you right now, Mark, don't get mad at me, because when Nicole asks me, I literally cannot say no. There's
what the hell? Wait a minute.
I can't.
You just said this on my podcast? Are you kidding me right now?
Everyone else can be like, let's go out, let's do this. Somebody at the I say, what?
When I hug you, I'm just going to take you over my shoulder and we're just going to go. We're just going to go to the club. I'm taking you hostage.
That's his thing now, Nicole. Every time I see him, I don't know what the hell he's going to do. He's going to pick me up, throw me over his shoulder. I don't even know.
Oh, Lord. Well,
going out, Sarah. And you know what? I'll lean on Nicole. I'll use her as a crutch if I have to get you out. That's fine.
I got to start training.
I'm a little bit hurt. that you just said that. We'll talk about that later off air. But yeah, we're going out. We're doing it.
Okay. I'm saying yes now, and everybody will know that, like, I'm saying
yes to you too. A surefire way to get her to have a good time? You got to get her on the spasmatics.
Oh, spasmatics. Yeah, I missed that.
You have that's your autoimmune, the spasmatics. You have like
just get me out there. 80s music. The spasmatics are great, but like give me some good 80s music. And
you know that I was one of the spasmatics, don't you?
Do you mean you were a spaz?
I was a spasmatic. You know, there's several different groups of us. You didn't know that?
Wait, you were one of the. You were in the franchise?
He's full of shit. Full of shit.
I'm extremely gullible.
Well, but he was. I don't know, Nicole. Do you know his breakdancing history?
No.
Mark.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. You know what?
Is that a sound and solid countertop. Have you tested it yet? Do you want to get up there and bust a move
I still
in your
got.
new house?
I still
Break
got.
it in, you know? What you
Yes.
got?
Listen. Grew up in Brockton, Massachusetts. Was in a breakdancing crew. We were called the Electro Force. My name was Comic Kid. That was my street name. And we would perform. We would battle against other breakdancing groups. We would perform at parties, at weddings. So like I had like 4 or 5 other members, and we had routines that we would do. And so I was probably like, I don't know, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, and it was, I loved it. It was amazing. And it's so funny because, breakdancing came to a peak in the early 80s or mid 80s, whatever it was. And then I could still always do it. And through high school, through college, through prep school, I would people would forget about breakdancing. And then I'd start like busting out all my moves, and like people would like be blown away because like I'm a big guy, but I could still do it. But pretty funny. It was like my first kind of sense of like team, like that team feeling. And the kids that I would do breakdancing with, they were like a lot older than me. Like I was only like fifth, sixth grade. I was doing this with juniors, seniors in high school, kids who later on went to jail. But it was such an experience, and I'm still in touch with them today. In fact, we just talked about getting another reunion going for us to come together again, and that should be fun. I'm looking forward to that. If it does, it
What
does.
is that? But what does that come together? Does that mean like come together, or we're just like we're gonna hang out?
We bring out the vinyl floor, we bring out the cardboard, we set up the stereo, and we go back to our old routines. Couple drinks. No, I'm joking. We just get together, we go out, and we reminisce.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I love
Oh,
that.
I
Yep.
was hoping there was going to be a dance battle.
Well, I think a couple of us could still do it. I think the others, I don't know, they might have a tough time.
Hmm. We should have a Dentistry's Got Talent show.
Ooh, dentistry's.
The
So
three of us could host it.
isn't there one
Yeah.
already or something that happens at Dykema or something?
Oh, there is one.
Well, uh Dentistry's Got Talent is like a oh my gosh, it's a competition for speakers.
Oh,
So
Oh.
they'll
that's
usually
No,
get
I'm talking dance, or like, yeah.
so
What
maybe
would your what
stop.
would your talent be, Bubbles?
Ooh, yeah, acting. She would be acting, right, Bubbles?
I could act like I like people.
You do like people.
I do like, well, no, I meant certain people. I like people, but then I could act like I like certain people that I don't like.
You are very
That's my
good at
talent.
that. That is your talent. I lost my earbud.
What
I don't have a
No,
talent.
I can honestly say there isn't anyone that I don't like. I like everyone. I find the good in everyone. Yeah,
I,
I am her. No, I like him. No, I like her. Yes.
actually, I take that back. It's not that there's people I don't like. I think there's people that don't like me, and that is quite all right. Because you know what they say? If everybody likes you, then you're doing something wrong. Like, you got to have, like,
I've
haters,
never heard.
right?
I got those.
Heard that? Have you heard that, Nicole?
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
You're not, look, if you don't got haters, you're not working hard enough.
Well, I mean, people do hate me. That's fine. I don't hate anyone.
I would venture to guess nobody hates you.
No. You're Mark. You're
I'm
Mark
not.
Doherty. Mark.
Know who else
You
is that is Eileen. Eileen Day from around the way. She say, Mark, Mark.
Mark.
I miss Eileen. What's
I
up?
don't think I give a very good first impression.
You do.
Oh, my friends tell me that when they first met me, they were very intimidated by me.
Oh.
I think that's their way of saying they thought I was
See you next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, can we just talk about this? The C word is making a comeback, and it's making a comeback in like all the. I mean, I
Ew,
do say
why?
it. I'm not saying it, but I don't know. It's like taking on the younger generations. It's now taking on a good like a good connotation. Like Jenny Fetty was.
Okay.
Hi, Jenny. Jenny Fetty was telling me about
Jenny
this.
Fetty!
Hey, Jenny. I wouldn't take advice from a generation that has skibbity toilet in their vocabulary.
For real.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Like, no thanks. I'm sticking to my skinny jeans and my side part.
Stop telling me that skinny jeans are not in. I don't care. I don't care if it identifies what generation I'm in. Like, that's fine. I'm wearing my
Well,
skinny jeans.
and now they're all into Doc Martens again, and then Birkenstocks, and
Yeah.
with Nike
Yeah.
socks. And I'm just, and then they tell me, like, are you going to wear that? And I'm like, are you going to wear that?
Yeah, it's like pajamas to school. My youngest, he's 16. It's like, dude, like, what are you wearing? He's like wearing like sweatpants and shirts with holes in them, and I'm
No,
like,
they want to look like they crawled out of a dumpster.
it doesn't make sense to me. It does not make sense.
Like, my daughter is gorgeous, beautiful girl. And she's beautiful always. And I try to empower her, let her make her own choices. But I used to curate her look, you know? She was a little fashionista. She had the big pink bows and the, all frilly dresses and all of it. And she's like, I'm wearing my Crocs and my oversized t-shirts and I'm just like, why? I wish
funny.
I could, yeah.
Funny, I remember, and you guys, it might have been, I'm a little bit older than you guys, but for me as a kid, it was always like with your buddies, right? With your friends, playing, doing stuff. You just don't see that these days with kids. It's all, at least what I see with my youngest son, is, and he's 16, is it's all gaming, and that's how they get together with gaming. And they're all gaming together. It's really not like hanging out a lot, and he's very active in sports and all that. But it's not often that like he's going over his friend's house and they're coming over to our house but that's just the way it is these days, right? And that's
I am. My kids consider me a dictator of sorts. I am a little strict on the screen time, and I mean they game, they play games, but like if their friends come over, they're not allowed to get on video games.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I make them, and like my older daughters, when they have friends over, I make them all put their cell phones away. Because what they do is they don't interact, they're on their phones, and then maybe there's one of them who doesn't have a cell phone or doesn't want to be on their phone, and then they feel left out and insecure, and it's just really unhealthy. So I'm like, you put your cell phones on the counter when you get to my house, and maybe you can play an hour of video games, but then you're outside playing basketball or soccer, or you're jumping on the trampoline, you're in the pool. So yeah. But you know what? All the kids want to be at my house. They all want to be at my house.
So if there's 3 things that I've learned today from this podcast, it is that everybody has an open invite to Mark Doherty's new cabin. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Game changer.
Yep. I have learned that I really don't have any special talents because when you asked me, I couldn't even think of any.
That's BS. You are an actor. You are a damn actress. You're an actress.
I can act. And then the third thing I forgot. Oh, that if I were a mom from start to finish, that would be, or actually not even, because I am a bonus mom, because I do see them playing video games a lot. So thank you for giving me those ideas, because then I can kind of help them. I mean, I know it's a different generation, but I don't want them to like grow up just being on their phones and tablets and stuff all the time. Like, you're missing stuff,
But you know what? But are they missing stuff? And are we just being like old fogies? Because
No, they're missing stuff.
what they're going to get out of that is going to be more impactful than going out and playing in the yard or whatever.
Children, they need grounding. They need to feel grass under their feet. They need, roughhouse and feel like nervous system input.
if you look to the horizon, do they need that? I don't know. I'm not convinced about that anymore. I used to, but not anymore.
Interesting. This sounds like a podcast all on its own that maybe we should
Yeah.
have. While we're at your place, while all of us, the entire dental industry, is at your place, we should have it.
For the breakdancing show.
I can't wait for that one day. Well, this was so much fun. Nicole, thank you so much for being here.
Did I say anything valuable?
Of course you did. Hey, this we want people to know, one, that it's not all about work, right? Like, we're humans, we're people, and we want to, I think,
yes,
you guys both know, people buy people, not products or services. And so our industry is super relational, and we just want to provide a platform to where people can get to know one another. And I always bitch at you, Nicole, like, you've got to be on LinkedIn more. I'm sure everyone listening to this podcast is probably like, geez Louise, I've heard Sarah bitching me about that.
I support you, Sarah Ruberg. I support you with that saying. Nicole, get your shit together.
I do. I am drying here. You don't know what this shit show's like.
Do you have 1,000 clients? You don't have to.
I do got to get my shit together, and also take a vacation at some point, like a real one.
Good for you. You should.
In Bora Bora or somewhere.
Oh, so you can take your pictures and post them on LinkedIn. How's that?
Yeah.
Bora Bora.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy for your new cabin and your breakdancing reunion.
Thank you. Yes. So you know what? If that comes to fruition, I'm going to get pictures and I'm going to put it on LinkedIn. That's my promise.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I catch myself thinking some of the things you say, Sarah, about like, I don't have anything of value to say on LinkedIn, you know?
So it's not a value to you because you live it and breathe it and eat it, but it's value to people like me who have no idea.
Mm-hmm. It's a good way to put it.
Booyah.
And, and you saying that, Nicole, and you saying that, being vulnerable and saying that, there's so many people that say that to me on a daily basis, and it crushes me because I just had a conversation with the young lady yesterday, and everybody has so many people have so many wonderful things to say, and to see them be silent because they're afraid, that just like, it hurts my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Or makes me sad. And I mean, I know I shouldn't be like sad for people. I'm sure everyone will, do what makes them feel comfortable. But yes, and hell, I think sometimes I don't have anything important to say. I think the same thing. It's that imposter syndrome. It's all the things that we all go through. What the hell am I doing today? My life is a complete shit show. I said that to myself yesterday. So like,
don't we all? We're all the same. We're all the same when it comes down to it. That's it.
It's
not
so
you.
true.
You have a freaking cabin, for God's sake. You're just up here like, I'm almighty up here in my cabin. Stop.
I need some guests, so that's the next step. Guests, it's ready to entertain.
Check that off, Nicole. We're going.
I'm an incredible party planner. That's my talent.
Well, if in the event that people would like to reach out to you, Nicole, where can they find you?
I thought you'd never ask. So visit transcendentalagency.com to learn more about who we are and what we do. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Transcendental Agency, where we share all kinds of tidbits on our methodologies, dental marketing trends, dental industry trends, as well as showcasing some of our work and best advice to help you make your practice successful.
And what about LinkedIn?
Oh, I'm on LinkedIn.
Okay. You're on it.
I have a profile and a login. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Nicole on LinkedIn.
But look me up on LinkedIn. Add me on LinkedIn. Follow me on LinkedIn. Follow Transcendental on LinkedIn. I am all over LinkedIn.
Okay, there you go. So you're going to send a message. You're going to get it right away. And that's that. Perfect. Because we know as dentists, we don't like to wait. Right, Sarah? I tested before. and know what you're slipping these days. Again, we're going to have a conversation off the air about that. But yeah, everything else, perfect.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Nicole. And we'll make sure to put all of your contact information too in our post, and we'll
Perfect.
and all that good stuff. But
Don't give out
thank
my
you.
cell phone number because that's just for you.
I would never, ever, ever. But well, thank you for our listeners. If you love this, and well, I'm sure you do love this because it's us, it's Boston and Bubbles. But we're always looking for recommendations too, as to guests that you'd like to see us have on our adorable little show, and we can't wait to see you guys next time.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Love
Thanks,
you both.
Nicole.
See you soon.
Bye, guys. Thanks, Bubbles.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
Watch out,
you.
Boston. We're coming for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.